All right. Hey, guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkins. This is Your Best Life Defined. How are you doing today? Doing pretty good. Feeling great. I'm doing my worker bee thing. You notice that's the name of the podcast, a worker bees. I'm down over here getting the podcast done. Gonna go work out. You worker bee? How's it feel? We're all worker bees. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with being a worker bee. I think where the struggle comes in is what we work for. You ever watch the bees? You ever watch like a colony of bees on YouTube or whatever? Check it out. You watch them and they just seem to go through the motions. They are in each moment and they have a job. They have a specific job and they do that job. And I would imagine there's probably no idea for them to do anything different. It's kind of ingrained in who they are, who they become, right? And I think about us and I think, is that us? Is that us? I don't know, in a way it might be. I mean, it's funny when you look at what you can learn from the animal kingdom. I watch animals way too much, but it's cool because when you watch what they do and you see how they do it, there are similarities in their actions reveal pitfalls in our own ideas and our plans, right? If you're the standard American, if you're Mr. Joe Average or Susie Average, guess what? My bet is you have just about as much debt as you do income. Your life doesn't vary in to either way too much from those around you, the people you work with, the people you know, the people you love, right? You have the car and all that stuff, right? And on any given period, let's say in any given month, there's not any significant event that occurs where you're like, holy crap, that was amazing, right? There's not any moments in your month where you're like, hell yeah. And let's even narrow it down. Just in the past 7 days, think about how many times you were like, holy crap, that was great, right? Yeah. Like you're at a Bruce Springsteen concert, for those of you who know who that is, right? In a way, when you think about how our life looks, it's a lot like that. Well, I'm going to work. Yeah, I want to. When you retire, and well, I got 12 years. Oh man, that's a long time. I know. When you go, I know, that's an indicator that you might be on the wrong path. I mean, I don't know, worker bee. I don't know. And you'll never escape the idea of working, that worker bee mentality where there's always something to do. If you're living your best life, basically what you're always doing is you're looking forward to what's next, right? And some people say, well, why can't you just be happy with what you have? Well, this is not an issue of being happy with what you have. It's about exploring the world you have around you. And even more important than that, about capturing and embracing the opportunity of life. I mean, I guess it's fine. I'm not judging. If you wake up every day and you enjoy it, fires you up to do the things you do step by step every day, then you are on the right track. But here's the problem. That's not what I see. And if you're honest with yourself, that's not what you're living. If you're honest with yourself, there's a large portion of your life that feels like you're running a marathon. Oh, you're going to get, you get them, I got to get them. Oh, yeah, I'll stop by the store. Okay, get supper ready. Blah, 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 blah. Grinding it out. Worker bees. So how does that happen? Well, let's be honest. I mean, and this is where people get all cringed up. They're like, I can't believe he's saying that about my life. yeah, I can say that about your life because I lived it. I'm not immune to it. I understand that cycle. The way you break that cycle is you add something beyond where you are right now. And the reason you are where you are is because look around. Look around. You've been trained to be a worker bee. The influence of those around you will dictate where you go and where your thoughts are. Because we don't know what we don't know. And when we're young, it's even worse. We don't know what we do know, right? So you look around and you see everyone else, and well, I guess that's how you do it. And you become a worker bee. And once that time and that the financial balance hits the top, right? hits to where there's not much flexibility in either, that's when the forward momentum stops. That's when you stop thinking about going to school. That's when you kind of give up on the idea of the gym membership. That's when you kind of settle in and just say, well, it just ain't bad. You want to watch And what's unfortunate about it is this conversation that we're having right here, this conversation is about breaking past this idea that we have, right? This idea about what our life's supposed to look like. I mean, why would we believe for one second that it's not okay to grow old and to settle into a house and just to take care of that house until you die? Everyone's doing it, right? Think about it. And what's funny is right now there's this big ass scramble to acquire a house. Oh, scarcity. Oh my God, scarcity. Never enough. Oh, there won't be enough. There are more options than this. The point that I'm making here is in order for you to escape that worker bee mentality, what you have to do is you have to look beyond where you are. And that's where things get uncomfortable. Because what happens then, when you start looking beyond where you are and you announce it, which is what I do with everything. I'm always announcing something because I like the accountability that creates among my audience, right? I like people to be able to look at me and even if they don't tell me, they can sit back and go, I don't think he ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it, right? I like that. But you throw it out there in front of your audience and now you've got to act. Now you've got to be different. Now you've got to take the time and find the resources and put that extra effort into it. And the trap is that being a worker bee and doing what you're doing right now and not adding anything, not changing anything, for all the struggle that you face, it's exactly the same. You're struggling for something, right? You're waking up when you do every day and you're where you need to be every day because of your choices, right? Try adding something new to it and then execute it. We talked about it. Follow the plan. The plan is pick something great, pick something that inspires you, and then build a story around it, build a story that is amazing around it, how great it's going to impact your life. For me, like I said, I'll tell this story over and over again because it works for me. The reason I work out is because I don't want to show up on some talk show, some national talk show with someone, and I'm over there telling you how to live your best life, and I show up and I'm 380 pounds. Not judging. I just believe that as part of living your best life, you owe it to yourself to do the best you can with this thing you have, right? The better you take care of your body, the much more likely it is that you're going to live a long life, right? In order for you to do that, you have to step into that role. Does it change the fact that you're a worker bee? No, you'll still grind through all those other things you do, but at least you have one thing now in your life that is driving you forward, that you have true reason and commitment for change, right? And then you execute, day in, day out, execute. Not because you love it, not because you feel like doing it, because that's all removed. It is a defined action. And you do it. Are you still a worker bee? Hell yeah, you'll always be a worker bee. But what are you working for? What are you working for? That's where it counts. I look back at my life, had I not made the choice to go the conventional route, and all I had focused on was the amount of money we was making and the amount of money we could save and not spend, just for a few years, I would have been able to do this years ago. I'd have been able to retire years ago. And even when I was working, it would be a life that feels like retirement, right? Because when you initiate action in a new direction, you get new results. Simple, I know. All right, worker bee. Here's what we're going to do. So today is the day that you're going to say, okay, what do I want to change in my life? You got it? Pick it in your, got it, get it in your head. Get that idea. Visualize what thing about your life. And if you tell me, oh, I wouldn't change a thing, there's no hope for you. I'm going to tell you right now, you're believing, you're drinking your own poison, right? Got that visual of what you want in your life. Now, imagine what it would be like when you accomplish that goal. Imagine what it will be like when you open your eyes one day and you realize, damn, we did it. We're debt free. Today's the day I pay that last bill off. And now we still work and working still sucks, but we have all of this money to make choices with. The cool part about achieving a goal like that is all of a sudden you get real careful. You start evaluating every choice you make that impacts the amount of money you have, because you realize, wait, I can screw this up, right? Get that story in your head cooking. Get that story going in your head, and then start plotting out a plan. And this is where the evaluation comes in. What would be the steps for you to get from where you are, where you have a mountain of debt, to where you want to be, where you have no debt? What stands in your way? It's cash. It's cash going out and cash coming in. It's a plus and minus equation. Stop spending, start earning. Stop spending, start earning. Define that action. Now you have your action. Stop spending. Don't go to Starbucks. Stop spending. Or have carry out for your orders at Walmart, so you ain't picking up crap off the shelf just because, well, it makes you happy, right? Start earning. Pick up an extra hour or a couple hours a day overtime. Grab a side job. Just have a conversation with that person you love and say, listen, if I do this for 6 weeks, guess what I'm going to be? Where we're going to be? We're going to have an extra $4,000 in the bank. How's that sound? It's easy, right? And then execute that action every day. Follow that plan and keep that story going in your head. And guess what? It's gangbusters. You're there. It's not about you not having the ability to endure, because you do that every day now. And I don't care who you are. I endure every day. I face struggle every day. There are things that I have to do that I don't want to do. But the benefit is I get this for it. I get the freedom to say, hey, baby, I think I'm going to go walking for 2 hours. Hey, baby, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a podcast. Oh, yeah, all right, do a podcast. And when you find that consistency, because you've built a story around something that you own, something that you want more than failure, you can't face the failure because you've shared that story with so many people, you'll find yourself doing it, and it just happens. And the best part of all, here's the best part of all. Once you make that accomplishment, once you use this recipe and you accomplish that goal, it's like, yeah, all right, what next? What next? I mean, I'm telling you this because I know. Sandy and I were young when we got married, and we had an old house and no money and no education. And we retired at 54, both of us. And now we travel around the country when there's not COVID, right? But we travel around the country, we do our thing, and choices abound. This isn't an issue of, do I have to be here? And all of a sudden, it makes it a lot easier for you to be where you are, and a lot easier for you to do those things that you have to do while you're there. There's nothing wrong with being a worker bee. There's nothing wrong with being who you are. But if you're going to work for something, grab something better. I know you can do it. You can see it. You want it. That's what social media is all about. You want it, so just go after it. Today's the day. Pick it. I challenge you to do that. If you don't do anything else today, I'd implore you to spend some time evaluating what you do today and asking yourself questions about why you actually do it. And if you can find one thing in your life you could change, or you would change as you go through your day, there you go. Follow the steps, create the story, and go after it. And guess what? Before you know it, it'll be yours. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I keep showing up. I hope this helps. I hope it brings you to one step closer to maybe realizing that it's okay to be different, that it's okay to not be exactly like your parents. That's not a judgment. It's an observation. If you have to choose between spending your entire life working and spending half of it playing because you changed some directions, you changed some things about your life that you were taught, and they're working out better for you, so what? I don't know, guys. Hey, listen, I'll keep showing up. I appreciate that you do as well. Let's not forget the kindness, and as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.